Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Mazharul Haq, Assistant Professor, Repeat Department, ISL Engineering College. And today's topic in the subject utilization of electric energy is core type and coreless type furnace. Before starting this topic, we would like to discuss what has happened in the previous class and what we have discussed in the previous class, that is about the resistance ovens and electric heating we have discussed. So in the previous class, we came to know some terms like charge and different terms like heating elements like that. So what is meant by charge? Charge is nothing but a body that is to be heated is called as charge. Okay. So this point to be remembered throughout this utilization of electric energy. The charge here refers to the body that is to be heated. So now let's start this core type and coreless type furnace. Okay. So what are the objectives of this topic today is on completion of this topic we will be able to know for the following terms, that is operation of induction heating, okay, and next is core type and coreless type induction heating, as well as we will know what is induction heating now. So let's start the induction heating. Induction heating is also known as high frequency heating, as we already discussed that power frequency heating as well as high frequency heating is there. So we will classify this induction heating is also known as high frequency heating. Now this induction heating process makes use of currents induced by the electromagnetic action in the material to be heated. So it is the second point states that the induction heating process makes use of currents induced by the electromagnetic action in the material that is to be heated. As we have seen some examples of induction heating also, we know that whenever the electromagnetic action takes place in the material that is to be heated, automatically this heat is produced there. So it uses the transformer principle, the same like transformer we have studied that the transformer has mutual induction principle, like that in the same way the induction heating also works on the transformer principle, or we can say transformer works on the electromagnetic induction principle. In the similar way induction heating also works, the same principle. Now the conversion of electromagnetic energy into heat energy takes place in the material itself. So that point we have to make it sure that the conversion of electromagnetic energy into heat energy takes place in the material itself. This is the difference between the electric heating as well as the induction heating. Please note this point. So induction heating, heat transfer by high frequency heating is as much as 10,000 per centimeter square. And here the high frequency heating can be applied mainly to two classes of materials. That is firstly conducting materials and secondly the insulating materials. Okay. Heating of first type of materials is called induction heating and the heating of second type of materials is called as dielectric heating. So this third point states that the heating of first type of materials is called as induction heating and the heating of second type of materials is called as the dielectric heating. So conducting materials are one type and secondary insulating materials are the second type. So in these two type of things, conducting materials will be classified as induction heating, and also the second type, that is secondary insulating materials, the classification will be told as dielectric heating. The induction furnaces are further classified as core type induction furnace and coreless type induction furnace. We are having two types here, the coreless type and core type induction furnace. Now what we study here, this core type induction heating, as we said that it works on the principle of transformer, the same as the principle of transformer. Here we are having the primary, and that is the supply is given to primary and the core is there, and also here we are mentioning this charge means that the body that is to be heated. So the charge is filled in this V-shaped trough like thing, and that annual hearth is nothing but it is a place where the heat is not going to escape from this. Okay. So in this the charge is filled up, and by the electromagnetic induction principle this charge gets heated up by this particular body. These V-shaped troughs are placed and inside that the charge is placed. Charge means the body that is to be heated. So by this induction heating principle we can say that the same like the transformer principle only, where we are primary we are giving the supply, and then the secondary whatever the current is passing through the windings is again having the converted into heat energy here, that is the charge is getting heated up. So core type induction heating is this one, where we are having a core where the primary is given the supply as well as the charge is nothing but the secondary that is to be heated, or we can say that in this place of load we are keeping the charge there that is to be heated. Okay. So the core type is furnace is essentially a transformer. We can say it is a transformer only. Now primary side is connected to supply and the secondary side contains charge materials in iron core annular hearth. This one is the container like thing, annular hearth, we can say that one. And in this it is a V-shaped trough is there. For that, there the charge is filled up here and therefore it gets heated up by the process of induction. The charge is magnetically coupled to the primary by an iron core. Okay, this point is important. The charge is magnetically coupled to the primary by an iron core, and the second point is the magnetic coupling between the primary and secondary is very poor, resulting in high leakage current and low power factor. For these, the furnace is operated at low frequencies of the order of 10 Hz. Okay. Now, hence it is called as low frequency furnace. What we call it is a low frequency furnace. So, core type furnace is also called as low frequency furnace. The low frequency necessitates an additional set of frequency converter. Okay, and that is called as the frequency converter. And to start the furnace, molten metal is poured in the annular hearth before the start. So, here the molten metal is poured inside the annular hearth before the start of this particular heating takes place. Otherwise, there is no material and the secondary side is open and no current will be induced. So, we have to make sure that this to start the furnace, molten metal is poured inside the annular hearth before the start. So, before starting this particular induction heating process, this should be filled with some molten metal, and therefore again we have to put the charge in that to get the charge heated up. So, this is convenient where the furnace is used for melting different types of charges. If the current density exceeds about 5 ampere per millimeter square, the pinch effect due to electromagnetic forces may cause a complete interruption of the secondary circuit. So, the current density should also be mentioned 5 ampere per millimeter square should be maintained. So, disadvantages of this core type of induction heating. A crucible of inconvenient shape is required. That is, inconvenient shape means where the V shape, it is very inconvenient to remove the charge or to clean up the one. So, it is a disadvantage only. The low power factor due to poor magnetic effect, and also the frequency converter is required here, and also it is a bulky due to the presence of core. So, next one is Ajax Watt vertical core furnace. So, here you can see that this is also a core furnace, Ajax Watt vertical core furnace, where you are having a primary winding as well as the we are having the outer iron core here, refractory lining, and the central iron core, and then the outer iron core here. The charge is being filled up here, and in this charge is being filled up, and the primary winding here is given the supply, and therefore the charge is filled up here means but this charge is getting heated up by this effect, that is electromagnetic induction effect. So, it is a practical version, that is Ajax Watt vertical core furnace, which is operating on the principle of electromagnetic induction, that is a core type furnace only. So, it is having a core, it is having a primary as well as it is having a secondary. On that secondary side, we are having the charge here. So, we will go into detail of this Ajax Watt vertical core furnace. It is an improvement over the core type induction furnace. Okay. Next one is the magnetic coupling in this furnace is better than the core type furnace. So, what are the disadvantages were there? We discussed. It is a better version of this one. So, these points are there where we can say that the magnetic coupling in this furnace is better than the core type furnace. And leakage reactance is comparatively low and frequency is high. Hence, it is called as high frequency furnace. So, whatever we have discussed the previous, that is the core type furnace, in this core type induction furnace, there are some disadvantages like magnetic coupling was there disadvantage, and therefore leakage reactance was there, as well as the power factor also maintained low. But in this furnace, it is also a core type furnace, but it is an improved version, and it is having the disadvantages it is covering the disadvantages over this particular core type furnace. Okay. It employs vertical crucible instead of horizontal. In the previous one, we have seen that it was a horizontal crucible or a vessel we can say. It employs vertical vessel instead of horizontal. So it is a vertical one where you can see there it is a vertical figure, and this system avoids the pinch effect due to the weight of charge in the main body of the crucible. And the circulation of molten metal takes place around the V portion by convection current. So you can see the V portion here where the molten metal has takes place around the V portion by convection current. So here you can see that this V-shaped type molten metal is having the this circulation done here, because this molten metal circulation is done, then only that particular transformer principle will be applied. Okay. Next is inside the furnace is lined depending upon the charge. Okay, depending upon the charge, the lining also is defined here. What type of lining we have to keep, the refractory lining, etc. Okay. The top of the furnace is covered with an insulated cover which can be removed for charging. So this one is the top of the furnace which is having insulated cover which can be removed for charging. Okay. This one, if you remove this particular thing, the charge gets removed for charging. Okay. The hydraulic arrangements are usually made for tilting the furnace to remove the molten metal. Hydraulic arrangements means the like the mechanical instruments are used here just to make that particular molten metal to be removed from this particular thing. The molten metal should be removed now. So for hydraulic action means like we have to pull this thing, and the molten metal can be removed from this particular furnace. Okay. So this is a clear figure about how this Ajax Watt core type furnace is being designed, and how we are using this one. So as we said that the charge is there, and also the molten metal is being circulated in the V-shaped type vessel or crucible we can say. Okay. Indirect core type induction furnace. Now coming to the indirect core type induction furnace. So here you can see that detachable magnetic circuit is there, primary winding as well as the core, and detachable magnetic circuit and metal container. This is the figure of indirect core type induction furnace, where we can see the secondary winding as shown by the arrows, and here is the primary winding and the metal container. This is the detachable magnetic circuit, and this is the core. Okay. Indirect core type induction furnace tells that here you are having this type of furnace is used for heat treatment of the metals, and the wall of the container forms the secondary winding, and the iron core links the primary as well as the secondary. So one by one each and every point is made clear that this type of furnace is used for heat treatment of metals. The wall of the container forms the secondary winding. The iron core links the primary as well as the secondary. So this is called iron core, and this is the wall of the container forms the secondary winding. This is the secondary winding. Okay, and the type of furnace used for heat treatment is metals. Heat produced in the secondary due to the induced current is transmitted to the charge by radiation principle. So this point to be noted, heat produced in the current secondary due to induced current is transmitted to the charge by radiation. So the charge will be there here, where that charge is going to be heated up. It is heated by the principle of radiation. Detachable magnetic circuit made of special alloy is kept inside the chamber. The alloy will lose magnetic properties at a particular temperature and are regained when it's cooled down. Okay. The alloy has to lose its properties as well as you can regain after the complete thing gets on cool down. Now on reaching the critical temperature, the reluctance of the alloy increases and hereby decreasing the induction effect. Okay. Critical temperature is varying from 4000 degrees to 10,000 degrees centigrade, can be employed for heating different type of materials in this indirect core type induction furnace. The furnace operates at the power factor of 0.8. As we said that the low power factor was there in the core type induction furnace, but it was a low power factor. Now the power factor is rising around 0.8. So a simple figure about the coreless induction heating is given, where we are having the charge inside that, and here it is shown the primary winding, and this is the refractory crucible. Okay, coreless induction heating. So the coreless induction furnace operates on the principle of electric transformer only. I am again telling these points. If there is no core, the flux density will be low. For compensating the low flux density, the primary should have high frequency. Okay. The furnace consists of refractory or ceramic crucible, cylindrical in shape, enclosed within a coil which forms the primary of a transformer. The furnace also may have a conducting or non-conducting container. So coreless induction heating, when high frequency of 500 to 1000 Hz supply is given to primary windings, the eddy currents are set up in the charge or the container by transformer action. These currents heat the charge to melting point and they also set up the electromagnetic force which produces stirring action to the charge. The furnace becomes relatively light in weight and can be easily tilted for pouring the metal. So advantages, high speed of heating is there in this type and well suited for intermittent operation and high quality of product is used, low operating cost. Industrial applications are also there for core type induction furnace. That is, it is used in foundries for melting and refining brass, metal and zinc and other non-ferrous metals. It is used for heat treatment of metals and also the industrial applications they are used for steel production and these are used for melting of non-ferrous metals like brass, copper, aluminium along with various alloys of these elements. The production of carbon from ferrous alloys also done, and here the comparison between high frequency and power frequency furnace will be classified. So high frequency and power frequency. First thing is frequency converter is necessary here it is not required. And second one, more energy required here, that is 20%, 30% for the same rating. And here less energy is required. And here the maintenance cost is more. And here the maintenance cost is less. Less turbulence and stirring effect, more turbulence and stirring effect is there. And large scrap melts will more oxidation loss. And large scrap melts with less oxidation loss here. Next is no special starting procedure is required. And here special starting procedure is required. That is what we say here, the molten metal is being there for starting the process. Okay. Now low capacity furnace, it is from a few kgs to 15 tons and dark capacity above 1 ton only we are using this power frequency furnaces. The initial cost is more for high frequency, the power frequency has less cost. High frequency has the frequency range of 500 to 1000 Hz and it is only 50 Hz for this power frequency. And well suited for intermittent operation of different alloys and this is well suited for long production schedules of one alloy. And care should be taken against the stray field, like other magnetic fields can be used here. So we have to be careful that the stray fields are not used. Besides this one, negligible stray field effect is there in the power frequency. And overall efficiency is low for high frequency and overall efficiency is more for power frequency type of furnaces. So what all we have discussed in today's class, we have a summary of today's class, what we have discussed. So we have discussed about this furnaces, core type and coreless type furnace, principle and operation of induction heating. That is the transformer principle only is used for the type of furnaces for getting the induction heating. Now we have studied core type induction heating as well as coreless type of induction heating. Now students, I will like to say that what is the coreless type induction furnace operates principle. What is the coreless type induction furnace operating principle? Means what is the principle you have to answer here. Like such, it is a transformer principle only, or Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, we can say. Or what is it is induction motor principle, also the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. As well as here it is generator and motor. Whereas it is not having rotating parts, so we can, the correct answer will be here like transformer. Transformer is the correct principle of operation of transformer, and the coreless type induction furnace operation is same. Okay. If the question is asked like this and options are given, the answer is here the transformer, because the transformer operates on the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, and the coreless induction furnace also operates on the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay. Now these questions what are asked here in the exams are what is induction heating, and describe briefly with the needs case the core type induction furnace, and also explain the vertical core type of furnace, that is Ajax Watt type of furnace. The need diagram can be explained here, As we studied here that the core type induction furnace is having disadvantages, to overcome that the improved version is Ajax vat type of furnace. Okay. Now fourth is the explain the construction and operation of coreless induction furnaces, and explain the indirect code of induction furnace with a sketch or diagram will be asked in the exams. Okay. So I would like to conclude here, students. Let me conclude. We will have the next topic in the, that is electric welding, in the next class. Okay. Thank you.